Good day, viewers and listeners, and welcome to the COVID-19 update for today, December 8, 2021. I am Godfrey Brooms. Today, we will be talking about the Ministry of Health's process of digitalizing the vaccination cards and what the Ministry or the Guyana Police Force is doing about the purchasers of the fake vaccination cards.
Hi, good morning again, Minister. Can we begin today's update with the vaccination status?
As of yesterday, for adult vaccination, we had 404,605 persons who would have received their first dose COVID-19 vaccine. That's approximately 78.9% of our adult population. We have also been able to immunize 284,174 persons with second dose. That would take the adult population now receiving second dose to 55.4%. In terms of children between 12 to 17, we've completed 29,563 doses, first doses. That's about 40.5% of that age cohort. And we have done 20,793 doses, second doses. That's 28.5% of that age cohort. Booster doses, people have been responding quite nicely. So we are now up to 3,790 as more and more people come forward to get their booster dose. So right now we have 979 persons with COVID-19 across Guyana. Um, the places where we have the most cases would be in Region 4. We now have 407 cases. Region 6 with 263 cases. And Region 3 with 146 cases.
Thanks, Minister. And can you also inform us of the hospitalization status of these active cases?
So right now we have 56 persons in hospitals. 43 of those persons are at Ocean View, and we have 18 persons currently in the ICU.
Thanks,
Of the 56 persons that we have, 35 of them are on oxygen. Well, the ministry has put together a team. We have about 10 persons who are working on digitalizing those records, and that work is continuing. We are working to ensure that we can get an appropriate software. And as you know, we have been in discussions with the Indian government pertaining to CoWIN. Those discussions have not been concluded as yet, but it's ongoing. And we are hopeful that once those discussions conclude, that we would be able to get the software. Right now, we have digitalized the records, but we now have to import it into a software so that you can have easy reference and so forth.
In light of the Omicron strain, is the government sending samples to CARFA to detect if the strain is present in Guyana?
We have some arrangements with CARFA, with other agencies, where if necessary, we'll send samples. So that's something that we'll evaluate, and at the appropriate time, we'll send those samples.
Thanks, Minister. I have a couple of questions from MTV News Update. The first one is asking what is going to happen to the purchaser, or the purchasers rather, of the vaccination cards following the operation of the police force that saw a number of persons selling these fake vaccination cards.
So if we get the names of the people who would have purchased such cards, the police obviously would be pursuing them, and they would be charged for obtaining a fraudulent document or a false document. So that's something that the police would be doing. Certainly, this is a very how to put it, it's probably, we should say it's a dangerous activity that they're engaged in, because imagine somebody in possession of a fake vaccination card. If that person gets sick, come into the hospital, and you know, they have a severe form of COVID, then doctors might falsely believe, there might be some hope because they've been vaccinated, they would have had produce antibodies and so forth. So it is going to be a challenge with these fake cards circulating and not knowing the true status of the person. Nevertheless, if we get the names of those persons who have purchased the cards, I think the police would be interested so that they can prosecute those persons. The bottom line here is that we're entering the Christmas season, and as we know, people at this time of the year would like to socialize more with friends and family, and they might have a false sense that all is well. And while our numbers have been on a downward trend, we have to remain vigilant. There are still too many persons who are not adhering to these recommendations that we have put out, including wearing masks and keeping distance and so forth. If you breach those guidelines, unfortunately, we are going to see more cases. With the looming threat of Omicron, in the places where it has been detected, we would have seen an increase in cases. So countries that would have had their pandemic under control, we have seen an exponential increase in those cases. So that is something we have to look out for. And, in South Africa, the places where they have, it has really increased drastically. They are now monitoring to see whether the increase in cases would result in more hospitalization and deaths. But certainly we have to be mindful of these things. And we have to take precautions. So here we have an opportunity right now to make sure we're taking those precautions. And while we go through the holiday season, we need to go through it very safely. And if we take those precautions, we can do both things. We can celebrate the holidays and at the same time be safe. But it requires some amount of discipline. And of course, for those people who have not been vaccinated, to make sure that they go out and get vaccinated. We still have a lot of persons who have not taken the first dose vaccine. So if they're in that category, I'll urge them to really go out and get vaccinated. There are persons who have had the first dose, did not return for a second dose. And again, we want to urge them to come and get their second dose. And then there are those persons who are now eligible for boosters. And we want them to come out and get the boosters because these vaccines are really going to protect you.
And that's it for the COVID-19 update today. For more information, you can visit the Ministry of Health's website at health.gov.gy, DPI's website, dpi.gov.gy, and our social media platforms. Godfrey Brooms is saying goodbye for now.